Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I saw someone come in and start making some comments in the last video I did, and it's actually a comment that I see fairly often online. It's something I see people talk about and try to justify, and that is this concept that calisthenics, which basically means just doing bodyweight movements with no resistance in various types, is in some way more functional or gives people more real-world strength or strength on the field as an athlete than training with free weights. And this is 2014. And this idea is from the dark ages of exercise science and sports. It is so old and outdated that if you were to go say this to a strength and conditioning coach who works with real athletes, they would laugh their ass off at you. And the difference is that we found this out in the real world because in American football, which is probably just about the most competitive sport in the world because of the amount of money involved, your guys have to be the best of the best of the best in every way. Their training, their diet, their genetics, everything. Because it is so insanely competitive because of the millions and millions of dollars involved. And what they found out in the 1970s, because this used to be the myth that calisthenics were better, gave you more functional strength, if the free weights slowed you down, they only helped you at lifting weights. When the teams who started doing serious strength training with free weights in the 70s started doing this, they were hurting the other guys. When the lines would hit each other, the guys who had been weightlifting versus the guys doing calisthenics, they were putting them in the fucking hospital. They were hitting them so hard because they weren't strong enough because they were only doing calisthenics. They couldn't take a hit. Their bodies were not even tough enough to take the type of force the guys who were squatting and deadlifting and power cleaning were generating when they hit them on the line. The people were getting broken bones, major injuries, and they all had to start weightlifting just to keep from getting ripped apart on the field. So my question to you would be, if we were to take a contact sport and the people who talk about the calisthenics, and you were to train your guys for the sport, rugby, American football, any team sport that requires real-world skills and is a contact sport, and you were to train them exclusively with calisthenics, and I were to go take my guys and we spend a year training them, and I train my guys on the squat, the deadlift, the power clean, and the push press, and I make them work that shit hard for a year, and we put them on the field, who do you think is winning? And don't try to argue about the skill of the teams, because you can't play ball and you have no skill when your ribs are all broken and you have a broken leg. My guys will murder your guys on the field because your guys will not be able to generate enough force to even knock my guys down. And my guys are going to hit your guys so hard on the field because they actually have more real-world functional strength, a hell of a lot more than you can build with calisthenics, particularly in the lower body. If you're having a 500-pound fat person climb on your back to do squats, you're not doing calisthenics anymore. You have no way to actually load the lower body with your body weight enough to make you truly strong enough to be competitive at a real sport, particularly one where you have to hit other people on the field. So this idea is just bullshit. My guys would bury your team, and your guys would be leaving the field on stretchers, because they would not be able to take the hits. They wouldn't be strong enough. They would be a bunch of weak pussies. Maybe not compared to the average Joe, but compared to other football and rugby players they would be. They wouldn't even be able to take the hits or generate enough force to knock my guys down when they hit them. It doesn't work that way. This idea is so outdated and not up to speed with modern exercise science that it was thrown out before most of us were even born. This has been rejected. It's been found to not work. So why people are coming up with it again now, and this idea, is beyond me. Calisthenics are okay to build strength in your arms and delts and stuff, but you are not going to build full body power or explosive power enough so to really be what you're talking about, functional, particularly in a very serious sport. Not by a long shot. So when people say this, I don't know what in the hell they're talking about. Other than I do agree that there is a difference between closed chain and open chain movements, and calisthenics tend to be good because they move your body through space, but squats and deadlifts and power cleans do that also. They just do it with a lot more weight. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.